Sienna Sphere and Sienna Sphere system-wide are multi-format binauralisers for surround sound. Sienna Sphere is able to receive audio data in different input configurations or speaker arrangements if you may, and then it processes it in a binaural audio surround listening experience directly in your headphones. With all the advantages of Sienna, of course, like the simulations of the rooms and the linearizations of the headphones. Let's see how to use it in Nuendo 11, Logic 10.7.1 and finally Pro Tools. Let's open a Nuendo 11 session where we have loaded a test ADM file. Make sure the sample rate is at 48 kHz and buffered at 512 samples. Nuendo 11 comes with its own renderer, but you can also use it with an external renderer as well. So let's open the plugin called Renderer for Dolby Atmos on the group track we just created and configured earlier. Let's change the output of the renderer to real speakers. In this session, we are working in 7.1.4. Now, let's open Sienna Sphere, which has been released for Windows in VST3 and AAX formats, while for Mac you get VST3, AAX and audio unit formats. So beware, you won't find any VST2. It is highly important that there are no other plugins between the renderer and Sienna. And of course, Sienna must be the last plugin on the master bus. So for an easier and faster use, we suggest you to use the presets, selecting the correct speaker arrangement, in this case 7.1.4. Or you can proceed as normal, of course, selecting the correct speaker arrangement and then choosing between various binaural conversion modes while remaining in the same DAW, which is very handy. Listening to most of the binaural converters available here, we developed our own, which is the ACU, paying close attention to the distance between the various sound sources, thus increasing intelligibility and realism. So we invite you to try it out. In the end, set the room and the desired headphone correction as you would with Sienna. If you would like to use the Sienna Sphere system-wide app, you will need to modify the audio output of your DAW and select the Sienna system-wide 16-channel driver. In order to do so, you have to open the Sienna Sphere system-wide app and make sure that in audio settings, where it says channel convention, you have flat selected. Please note that in order to use the Sienna Sphere system-wide, you need to have the VST3 version of Sienna Sphere installed, and for the time being this app is only available for Mac OS. Now let's switch to Logic 10.7.1 and open a session where we have loaded a test ADM file. In Insert on the master, there is the Atmos plugin which will render our content in 3D audio. We now set the monitoring format to 7.1.4. Now let's open up Sienna Sphere audio unit, and it is important that there are no other plugins between the renderer and Sienna, and once more, remember to put it at the end of the chain on your master bus. From here on, the steps are the same as for Nuendo 11. If you want to use the Sienna Sphere system-wide, you have to change the audio output of the DAW with the Sienna Sphere system-wide 16-channel driver as described above. Now open the Sienna Sphere system-wide app. Go to Audio Settings and set Channel Convention to Apple. From here, the behavior is the same as described for Nuendo 11 above. With Pro Tools, we have to use the Dolby Production Suite or Dolby Mastering Suite as external renderer. You go to Preferences, Drivers, select Sienna System-Wide 16-channel as output device. Then, in Room Setup, we configure a 7.1.4 arrangement in the Speaker Setup, Monitoring and Routing tabs. In the Routing tab, you can check the layout of the output channels that will be processed by Sienna Sphere system-wide. In this particular case, we are processing a 7.1.4 arrangement, and you can also find screenshots for all the other arrangements directly in the operating manual. Now let's open a Pro Tools session, where we have loaded a test ADM file. Open the Sienna Sphere system-wide app and go to Audio Settings. Here we set Channel Convention to MRU. I remind you that to use the Sienna Sphere system-wide, you need to have VST3 version of Sienna Sphere installed, and this app is currently only available for Mac OS. In this video, we have shown the main possible configurations between the various DAWs and Sienna Sphere or Sienna Sphere system-wide. You will find all the remaining configurations directly in the operating manual. And this is all for today. Up to next time, peace.